Hello. Does your preschool do a graduation or some other end of the year closing ceremony? If so, this week I have compiled a list of books that are great for any type of end of the year celebration, whether you're doing that and inviting the parents or whether they're just books that you want to read as the school year winds down. Hello, I am Nicole Dravillas Fravel, and this is Wildwood Teaching. And actually, I do not do a graduation ceremony at Wildwood Nature School. One of the reasons for this is that I don't look at preschool as the end of really anything. I look at as the beginning of curiosity, the beginning of a learning journey. And this is what, I emphasize from day one, right? What I want to instill in children is a love of learning, a way to follow their natural curiosity. So we actually have a moving on ceremony at the end of the year. I know it might be semantics, but part of the other reason for that is that I want this to be a yay, we're moving on to more formal schooling because we are ready, we have our brains ready, we have our feelings ready, our resiliency ready, and also a way for everybody to celebrate. I do have a multi-age group, and so this is a way that we can provide closure for everybody. We are saying goodbye to our friends who are moving on. We are also moving on to a new year and new discoveries. So let's get to the books. I should say that every year at the ceremony, I read a book to begin our ceremony. And each year the book is different because they choose the book based on the personality of that particular year. What I am thinking about those children, what they may be thinking about in terms of moving on. And so one of the books that I read, I think one year, was The Dandelion Seed. And I read this one because I think it perfectly captures all of the mixed emotions of moving on. This dandelion seed is reluctant to let go in that particular year. I had a number of children who honestly were not looking forward to kindergarten. They had a great time in preschool and they felt comfortable. And when this dandelion seed does finally let go and it floats over the world, some parts of it are scary. Some parts of it are beautiful. Sometimes it's floating on the wind. Sometimes it's being pushed by the wind. So all of those mixed emotions that come along with it until finally it finds the place where it belongs. And then I usually follow up with some sort of mini speech to the parents and the children about how I know that all of the emotions that everybody is feeling in this room right now. And, my wish, my hope, and my knowledge is that I know you will find the place where you belong. Another possible option for end of the year is You Are Here by Zach Manbeck. And again, kind of capturing all of the emotions, but more of a wish for you. And I like really that this one captures giant concepts with really short words, phrases, so that it's deceptively small, but perfect for preschool. And I have bookmarked a page just to read to kind of exemplify that. Explore, wander in every direction. Take your time. Some will be far ahead of you. Others will be miles behind you. Be thankful for who's right beside you. fall down, slip, trip, and scrape your knees, and then keep going. So really, I think too captures forest school, right? And the way that we explore what we do at your own pace, the pace of childhood, whatever your childhood pace is, that idea that we are building resiliency, that we can do something difficult and we can fail. And it's okay. We're going to trip in the forest. We're going to fail to climb the tree, but we're going to keep trying until we find what works for us. Another one that I chose based on specific qualities of children I had that particular year. It's called In a Jar by Deborah Marcero. And I had a group of children that were always collecting things. Every time we went into the forest, they had a collection. They came back with pockets full. We brought bags in so that we could bring things back and study them. And these two rabbits, Llewellyn and Evelyn, collect nature together. So it really matched. But they progress, right, from collecting flowers or leaves to collecting things that obviously don't fit into a jar, like rainbows. And then when Evelyn moves away, kind of like our moving on ceremony, they collect things that evoke a feeling or things that evoke a place, right? The sunset that they are viewing that they wish the other could see, the sounds of the city that they wish the other could hear. And so it becomes, right, a way of collecting memories, a way of collecting experiences, a way of sharing that with others and knowing that you can carry that knowledge and those experiences and those feelings wherever you go. So that's not a goodbye and I'm never thinking about you forever. It's we are moving on and we are still part of each other. I find this is also a great one to read if children move mid-year and everybody has feelings about that, not just the child who's moving. The North Star, it's long, but Peter H. Reynolds, does he ever have a miss? He's the author of The Dot, Ish, and really he does a great job of capturing complicated feelings. And this, the North Star, has kind of a fable-like quality to it. This child is on a journey, and the child's journey takes them throughout nature, right? Through a field, through a forest. They have conversations and connections with the flora and fauna as they are experiencing it. And ending, it just ties perfectly into the idea of a moving on ceremony where, as the boy looked out toward the horizon, the star glowed steadily, reminding him that he still had a long journey ahead. But it was his own journey, his very own wonderful journey, a beginning. Sorry, my books are a little bit out of order. I got a little confused. The next one is Wherever You Go. And truly, it is written from the perspective of a parent, where they are giving good wishes, right? And saying things like, I'm going to be with you wherever you go. And you'll always have that as an anchor. But obviously, these sentiments easily apply to any type of school situation as a teacher talking to children. I'm proud of you when you try your best. Our time together feels both too short and too long. The big world is waiting. And what's especially cool about this book is that it's part of a series of books called All Are Welcome, which really emphasizes inclusivity and diversity in an intentional way. So many different family situations, so many different cultures, so many different capabilities, intentionally represented on each of the pages throughout the book. The Wind May Blow is really an ode to resiliency. It's using the weather as a metaphor to what life might throw at you. This child experiences rain and wind, but knows that they can use their knowledge, their experience, their learning from outdoor school, from any preschool situation, to build a tent, to solve those problems and keep on going no matter what life throws at them. And now you know that I like to include a wordless option in all of my book roundups. So the wordless option I have is Journey by Aaron Becker, and it has a Harold and the Purple Crayon type of quality to it, where the child is dreaming, right? They ask a parent to come play with them. That doesn't work, so they kind of dream their way into new situations and new adventures. And these are the adventures that your preschoolers can have if they're willing to imagine it. They can make it happen. And what this child imagines at the end is a new friend. Right? And that imagination comes true in finding a new friend to share the next stage of the journey with them. And so I usually talk to the children about the new friends that they are going to make in kindergarten, and how it's, again, not the end, but the beginning of a lifelong journey that they get to determine the circumstances and the outcomes for. I have never done a nonfiction title for any of our moving up ceremonies for these past 15 years. But if you have a great nonfiction title to use at the end of the school year that has a nature tie-in, I would love to hear it. Comment on this video, drop me a line through our newsletter, through Facebook, through Instagram. Try out some of these titles, either for whatever ceremony you do at the end of the year or just throughout those last few weeks as you are preparing children for closure. And then I will see you here next week for another episode of Wildwood Teaching. I will see you there.